Life is a conversation with the divine. Every moment, God is speaking to us not through loud declarations, but through subtle whispers, guiding us, correcting us, and inspiring us toward our highest potential. The real question is, are you listening? Too often we are so caught up in the noise of the world that we miss the sacred messages designed to lead us to our purpose. But once we recognize the signs, we begin to align with a power greater than ourselves. Here are 5 unmistakable ways God is speaking to you right now. Have you ever felt a deep, persistent nudge inside your soul, something telling you to take a step forward, to move in a certain direction, to chase a dream you've been ignoring? That's not just random thought, that's divine instruction. When God speaks, he places a desire within you that refuses to be silenced. The longer you resist, the stronger it grows. The moment you listen, doors begin to open. Sometimes we push for something that simply won't budge. No matter how hard we try, the door remains locked. Other times, opportunities fall into place so effortlessly that we can't help but wonder how it happened. That's divine direction. If something isn't working despite your best efforts, perhaps God is saying, not this way. But when the right path presents itself, everything flows with ease. God often speaks in stillness, in moments of quiet reflection. When the distractions of life fade away, an idea will emerge, a solution, a realization, a sense of peace. You might call it intuition, but it's deeper than that. It's divine wisdom. The challenge is we rarely make time to be still. But when we do, we begin to hear the whispers of truth that have been there all along. Have you ever noticed the same message appearing in different ways through a book, a conversation, a dream, or even a random sign on the street? When something keeps repeating in your life, pay attention. It's not coincidence, it's confirmation. God often communicates through patterns, reinforcing what we need to hear until we finally acknowledge it. One of the clearest signs that God is speaking to you is the presence of peace. Not the kind that comes from perfect circumstances, but the kind that exists despite uncertainty. When you're on the right path, even if the road ahead is unclear, there's a knowing deep within you that says, this is right. That peace is divine assurance. It's the universe telling you keep going. You're exactly where you need to be. God is always speaking, but he doesn't shout, he whispers. If you want to hear him, you must quiet the noise, open your heart, and trust the signs he places before you. The answers you seek are already within you, waiting to be recognized. The question is, are you listening? God is always speaking, but he does so in whispers, not shouts. If you are waiting for a dramatic revelation, you might miss the subtle signs. His voice is found in the quiet nudges, the inner knowing, and the unexplained peace. Life is filled with divine messages if you are open to seeing them. The question is, are you truly listening? Every experience you have is part of a greater conversation with the divine. Your thoughts, emotions, and choices shape the reality unfolding before you. When you align with faith and intention, life responds with clarity and direction. There are no coincidences. Everything is connected by a deeper wisdom. Understanding this truth transforms how you see the world. The universe conspires in your favor when you align with divine guidance. When you move with purpose, unseen forces work behind the scenes to open doors. What seems like luck is often the result of listening to a call beyond yourself. When you resist that call, life becomes a struggle, filled with obstacles and delays. But when you surrender, the path becomes clear. In moments of stillness, the most profound answers are revealed. Silence is not emptiness, but a space where divine wisdom flows. The more time you spend in quiet reflection, the more you recognize the voice of God. The distractions of the world drown out what your soul already knows. Make space for stillness, and you will hear the guidance you seek. A deep and persistent inner urge is never random, it is a message. When a dream or idea refuses to leave you, it is because it holds meaning. Fear and doubt may try to silence it, but the calling remains. This is how God places direction within you through desires that won't fade. The moment you take action, everything begins to shift. If something keeps calling you back, it's not just wishful thinking. There is a purpose behind the dreams and passions that ignite your spirit. Suppressing them leads to frustration, but following them leads to fulfillment. God speaks through the longings of your heart, waiting for you to take notice. Trust the desires placed within you. They are there for a reason. Fear often disguises itself as logic, convincing you to stay in place. Your mind may create endless reasons to ignore divine nudges. But what if fear is simply resistance to stepping into your true purpose? God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies those who answer the call. When you overcome doubt, you step into your greatest potential. The longer you resist divine instruction, the more restless your soul becomes. It is not life making you uncomfortable, but your spirit urging you to move. The discomfort is a sign that something greater is waiting on the other side. When God places something in your heart, it is because He has already prepared the way. Your only job is to trust and take the first step. Not every opportunity is meant for you, and not every closed door is a failure. Sometimes what looks like rejection is actually divine protection. When something refuses to work despite your best efforts, pause and reflect. Perhaps God is guiding you away from something that is not in alignment. The right path will open with ease, but the wrong one will resist. If life keeps blocking your way, it may be a sign to change direction. Struggles often indicate that you are forcing something not meant for you. But when you walk in divine timing, doors open effortlessly. Pay attention to how things unfold. Resistance may be a message, not an obstacle. God will always lead you, but He will never force you. Opportunities that align with your purpose will not require endless struggle. If something is right for you, it will flow naturally even when challenges arise. God's path is not about ease, but about alignment. When it's right, you'll know. Stop trying to force what is not meant for you. The more you trust, the more life falls into place. If confusion clouds your judgment, be still and listen. God's voice is not one of fear or chaos, but of clarity and peace. The answers you seek often come when you stop searching so hard. Sometimes all you need to do is pause and let the answer come to you. In the silence, truth reveals itself effortlessly. You don't have to hear an audible voice to recognize divine guidance. Sometimes God speaks through a thought that won't leave your mind. Other times, He speaks through a deep sense of knowing, even without logical proof. Pay attention to those moments when certainty rises within you. That is where divine wisdom resides. Stillness is not about doing nothing, it is about becoming aware. In a world filled with distractions, quieting your mind is an act of faith. The greatest revelations come not in chaos, but in peaceful surrender. When you take time to listen, you will recognize the answers that have always been there. The voice of God is waiting to be heard. Life has a way of repeating messages until we finally listen. If the same lesson keeps appearing, it means there is something you need to understand. Ignoring it won't make it go away, it will only come back louder. God uses patterns to gently guide you toward growth and change. Pay attention to what keeps showing up in your life. Synchronicities are divine reminders that you are on the right path. The same words, themes, or opportunities appearing repeatedly are not coincidences. They are confirmations, nudging you toward what you need to see. The more you acknowledge them, the more they will appear. When you recognize the signs, you step into alignment. The right message always arrives at the right moment. Have you ever heard the perfect words just when you needed them, or stumbled upon a book, a conversation, or even a song that spoke directly to your soul? These are not accidents, they are messages sent specifically for you. God always delivers what you need in divine timing. Guidance doesn't always come in grand gestures, it often comes in whispers. A subtle feeling, a recurring thought, or a chance encounter can carry profound meaning. If something catches your attention more than once, take notice. The universe is constantly speaking. Your job is to be aware. What you seek is already seeking you. True peace is not the absence of problems, but the presence of divine certainty. Even in the midst of chaos, you can feel a deep, unshakable calm. This is how you know you are in alignment with God's will. If a decision brings peace, it is likely the right one. Trust the feeling of inner stillness, it is divine reassurance. God won't compete for your attention in a world full of distractions. If you want to hear his voice, you must be willing to step away from the noise. The endless stream of information and opinions drowns out the subtle whispers of truth. Clarity comes when you quiet your mind and open your heart. The messages are always there, waiting for you to recognize them. The question is whether you are making space to listen. Faith means trusting what you hear even when logic says otherwise. Divine messages don't always make sense at first glance. Sometimes you feel called to take a step before seeing the full staircase. Doubt tries to convince you that you need all the answers before you begin. But God asks you to trust before you understand. When you follow his voice, the path unfolds as you walk. The longer you ignore divine guidance, the more persistent it becomes. That inner restlessness, the feeling that something is missing, is not random. It is a sign that you are meant for something greater. God doesn't stop speaking just because you stop listening. Instead, the messages become stronger, appearing in unexpected ways. You will feel it until you finally choose to move. Gratitude is a key that unlocks deeper spiritual awareness. When you appreciate what you already have, you create space for more wisdom to flow. A grateful heart is more receptive to divine messages. Complaints and negativity block your ability to hear clearly. When you shift your focus to thankfulness, guidance becomes more obvious. The more you acknowledge the blessings, the more they multiply. Prayer is not just about speaking, it is also about receiving. Too often, people pray with expectation but fail to listen for a response. God answers in many ways, but you must be open to recognizing them. The answer may come through a conversation, a sign, or a deep inner knowing. If you are always talking but never listening, you may miss the response. Silence after prayer is where the most profound insights come. What seems like a setback is often preparation for something greater. When things fall apart, it may be because they were never meant to stand. God removes what does not serve you so he can replace it with something better. The discomfort of loss is often the doorway to a better future. Instead of resisting, ask what lesson is being revealed. In every ending, there is a new beginning waiting to unfold. Divine timing is never rushed but always perfect. You may feel impatient, wanting answers and results immediately, but God sees the entire picture while you only see a single moment. If something is delayed, it is because the right conditions are still forming. Trust that everything will come together at the exact moment it is meant to. What is truly yours can never be taken away, only postponed for the right time. Obedience to divine guidance leads to doors you never expected. When you listen and act on what you receive, things begin to shift. The opportunities you once chased start to appear effortlessly. Resistance fades and alignment takes its place. Your steps may seem small, but they create a ripple effect leading to greater blessings. God rewards those who trust his direction, even when they don't understand it. When you take a step forward in faith, unseen forces align to support you. You are not walking alone, even when the path feels uncertain. Each movement in the right direction brings more clarity and confirmation. What seemed impossible before becomes possible when you trust the process. Miracles happen when you move with confidence in divine timing. The universe conspires in your favor when you follow divine whispers. Your life is a reflection of how well you listen to divine guidance. If you feel lost, it may be because you have ignored the signs. Pay attention to the recurring themes and lessons that keep appearing. The more you align with God's voice, the more peace you experience. Resistance creates struggle, but surrender creates ease. Your external world is shaped by the spiritual choices you make within. God will not force you to listen, but He will keep calling you. The choice to follow divine direction is always yours. You can ignore the signs, but you cannot escape the longing in your soul. The feeling that there is more to life is a reminder of your true purpose. No matter how far you stray, the path back is always open. The moment you decide to listen, transformation begins. Clarity does not come from overthinking, but from surrendering. Trying to figure out everything on your own leads to confusion. Divine wisdom flows when you trust rather than control. When you stop forcing outcomes, the right answers appear naturally. Let go of the need to have everything planned. The best guidance comes when you allow yourself to be led. Every challenge is an invitation to grow closer to God's voice. Struggles are not punishments, but lessons designed to shape you. How you respond determines whether you move forward or stay stuck. When you see difficulties as divine guidance, they lose their power over you. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Growth begins when you embrace the lesson. A heart filled with love and faith hears God more clearly. Fear creates static, making it hard to receive divine messages. When you operate from love, your intuition becomes sharper. Love opens the doorway to spiritual wisdom, while fear builds walls. Every decision made from love aligns you with your highest path. The more you let go of fear, the easier it is to hear. The right opportunities will never require you to compromise your peace. If something feels forced, it may not be meant for you. God's path often requires effort, but it does not bring anxiety. A deep sense of calm accompanies choices that align with divine will. If you feel inner chaos, it may be a sign to reconsider. Peace is a sign that you are exactly where you need to be. Faith is moving even when you don't have all the answers. Waiting for certainty before you act will keep you stuck. God's voice often calls you before you feel ready. The moment you step forward, you will realize you were prepared all along. Trust that provision will come as you walk in obedience. The answers are waiting on the other side of your first step. Miracles happen when you align with divine timing. What seems impossible in your strength becomes effortless in God's hands. When you follow divine guidance, things fall into place unexpectedly. Solutions appear, doors open, and opportunities arise out of nowhere. The key is to trust the process even when you don't see immediate results. What you are waiting for is already on its way. The universe echoes what you believe to be true. If you expect to struggle, struggle will meet you. If you expect divine guidance, it will reveal itself everywhere. Your thoughts and beliefs shape the way you receive spiritual messages. When you align with faith, the world reflects back opportunities and wisdom. What you seek is always seeking you. Listening to God is not about hearing a voice, but recognizing a feeling. Sometimes the answer is not words, but a deep sense of knowing. You may not hear instructions, but you will feel peace in the right decisions. Guidance often comes in the form of an unexplainable certainty. When you trust that feeling, you move in divine flow. God speaks in ways that the heart understands before the mind does.